In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a BlocX node using NodeOrbit. There's a few things that you're going to need before you get started. We're going to be doing this on Windows 10, but it'll work on Windows 10 or 11. We'll be installing the BlocX wallet. If you do have Linux available, the Linux wallet is definitely more secure, so you can go ahead and proceed with that if you're comfortable with it. The next thing that you're going to need to do is create an account with NodeOrbit. I'll make sure I link that in the description below. And you're also going to need the collateral for a BlocX node. The collateral for a BlocX node is going to be 100,000 BlocX. You're also going to need a little bit extra for transaction fees. So I added an extra 25 BlocX. So that's what you need to get started. Let's get to it. And here we are. What we're going to do is we're going to scroll down a little bit over here. And we have all the downloads available for the BlocX wallet. As you can see, they have a Windows version, a Mac version, and a Linux version. We're going to be doing this on Windows, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the download button right over here, and it's going to download on my PC. I'll go ahead and open that up. Okay, and here is the folder. I'm going to go ahead and extract all the contents in it. The folder that I'm going to be extracting it is the folder that I'm going to be saving and executing it from. All right, so we're going to right click on the zip file. I'm going to say extract all. The location that it's going to be extracting everything is a folder that we're going to be running it from. So I'm okay with it being in my documents folder. I'm going to go ahead and select that and then click on extract. And we have it right over here. Just going to close out of this window. And we have the BlocX Qt file, which is executable. We just have to double click on that to open it up. And we're going to get this Windows Protect message. You can click on more info and then run anyway. And now what it's going to be doing is downloading a copy of the blockchain. You want to make sure that you have enough space on this. Definitely a couple of gigs is going to be required. We can use a default directory, or we can specify which folder we want it in. So the first thing I got was this firewall message. I just have to click on allow access, and now I have an appearance window, so we can select dark or light theme. I like dark theme. I'm going to be leaving it as that. And then font family, the font and everything else I'm going to leave as default. Click on OK. This is the core wallet. And you can see that it is going to be syncing with the blockchain and then going ahead and downloading a copy of it. You can see that there is the number of blocks left. So we have to let this all count down. Once your wallet has been synced up, the next two things that you want to make sure that you do is back up your wallet and encrypt it. To encrypt it, you can go to the settings menu up here at the top and then go to encrypt wallet. Over here is where you can enter in a passphrase or a password. And to back up your wallet, you just go to the file menu and then select backup wallet. This is where you can save the wallet.dat file. This is the main file that you're going to need if you need to restore your wallet in the future. So make sure you save this in a safe location. So I have a 0 balance of BlocX right now. Okay, so I have to still send my BlocX to my wallet now that it's fully synced. And what I want to do is take it off the exchange where I purchased it. In this example, the exchange I'm using is Xeggex. There's a few other exchanges that accept BlocX. I'll link them in the description below. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a withdraw from my account, and I'm going to be sending the BlocX that I purchased to the BlocX wallet. So in here, I'm going to go under receive, and I'm just going to call this one deposit. It's going to click on request payment, and then it's going to give me an address. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this address. So the collateral for a BlocX node is going to be 100,000. You also want to give yourself just a couple extra on top of that to cover the transaction fees. The transaction fees on the BlocX chain is extremely low, but you should still have something a little above and beyond that. During the test transactions, you're going to need 5 BlocX. And I'm just going to send about 25 BlocX over right now. Okay, so I just sent the 25 over. I'm going to go into my overview screen, and you're going to see it populate here in just a few moments. So the 25 BlocX I have sent myself is right over here. You can see it just came in. Okay, and now that we have our balance, we can go ahead and begin with step 1. Now that the wallet is set up, we're going to be configuring our master node. We're going to be using the official documentation to set this up. We're going to go up here to the tools menu, and then we're going to go to the debug console. And here is our debug console. Now I'm going to open up a notepad here just so I can keep a list of the addresses that I'm going to be creating, because there's going to be a lot of copying and pasting going on. I'm going to be using this again just as a reference so I can just log where everything is. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is getting a new address, and we're going to type in get new address, and that's going to give us an output. So we're going to copy this, and this one is going to be for the MASTERNODE fees. So now I'm going to go and close out of this window, and the next step, which is step 3, is we're going to go into the send window, and we're going to be sending a payment to ourselves. So the address that we're going to be sending it is the MASTERNODE fee address. I'm going to go ahead and paste that address in here, and we're going to be in the amount section, we're going to be sending 5 BlocX, and then we can go ahead and click on send, and then we can click on yes. Okay, there we go. Here is our payment to ourselves. We're actually waiting for 4 blocks to be confirmed. If you put your mouse over here, it'll let you know how many confirmations are in. So it's been unconfirmed, but it'll do a count, and we're waiting for 4 before we can go on to the next step. So I'll just give it a minute and I'll let that happen. There we go. So we have 5 confirmations. We only needed 4 to go to the next step. That is now taking place. So we're good to go to the next step, which is going to be going back up to the tools menu and then debug console. And now what we want to do is get a new address again, hit enter. And this address is going to be for our masternode collateral. So I'm going to be putting in another line here. This is masternode collateral. I'm going to copy this address and I'm going to paste it in here. We're going to be referring to these addresses later. So we're going to go out of this window. We're going to get out of the console. So the collateral for the node is going to be 100,000. We've done the test transaction. Everything looks good. You can do this all in one shot. You can send all the BlocX into your wallet in one shot. I'm now going to send the total amount that I require for my node, which is going to be 100,000. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And now I have the full amount, which is the collateral listed in here, which is 100,000 BlocX. Okay, so now we can continue with this collateral address that we just created. We're going to be sending the total amount, which is going to be 100,000 BlocX into it. What we're going to do is go over to our wallet, click on the send window. I'm going to highlight this address. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it in there. So that's the address that I'm going to be sending it to. That is the masternode collateral address that I've pasted it in here. And now what I'm going to be doing is putting in the amount. The amount is going to be 100,000. That looks good. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to send it. So we're sending it to ourselves. We're sending it to our collateral address. Then I'm going to click on yes over here. And that amount will be sent to myself. In the transaction window right over here, you can see payment to yourself. So it's unconfirmed right now. We need to make sure that it's confirmed by 4 blocks. That might take a few minutes. What I'll do is I'll jump over to the next step. Okay, so now we have more than 4 confirmations. So we're going to go back up to tools and then to our debug console. And inside the debug console, we're going to be typing in masternode's outputs right over here and then hit enter. And we're going to get a line over here. And there's either going to be a 1 or a 0. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be taking this section right over here and I'm going to paste it in my notepad. I'm going to be referring to it later. Just want to make sure it's easily accessible. Back at the console window, we're going to be doing the BLS generate command. Go ahead and enter that in. And it's going to give us 2 keys. One's going to be private, one's going to be public. Once again, I'm just going to be taking this information, I'm going to highlight this, copy it, and I'm going to paste it in my notepad. Now this is important. The line that says secret is the one that you're going to be using when you register with NodeOrbit. You want to highlight that and keep it aside because we're going to need that at the very end. I'm moving on to step number 8. And the next thing we're going to be doing is generating a few more addresses. I'm going to be typing in the getnewaddress command, hit enter. And this one is going to be the owner of the masternode address. I'm going to paste that one in. And then we're going to need another address for proposal voting. So once again, I'll be typing in get new address, copy that over and paste it in here. And we're going to need one more address, and this one's going to be for masternode rewards. Get new address. All right. I'm going to copy that and I will paste it over here. So I'll have a list of all the addresses I'm going to have to refer to later. And for step 9, we're going to be doing the protx registration command. And here is the protx registration command. I'm going to be pasting this in the description below, as well as linking it to my blog with a breakdown, because I know this part can get a little bit confusing. Anything that is capitalized, we're going to be pasting over. You also want to make sure in between each segment that there's only one space. You don't want to have multiple spaces. And the IP address is going to be the IP address that's been assigned to you by NodeOrbit. The port number, it's 12972. This is the standard port number for BlocX. We're going to be leaving that the way it is. And then we have the owner address, the public address, the proposal voting address. We have this number 0. Now, very important to note that this number 0 is between the proposal voting and the masternode reward. There's a space on each side. If this 0 is not here, it's going to fail. It's important to see this. I missed this a couple times when I was setting this up. That's why I'm pointing it out. And then we have the masternode reward and the masternode fee. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be pasting these in. These addresses that I have right over here are made up. They don't mean anything, so please don't use any of them. Okay, so we have masternode outputs. So if we scroll down over here with our masternode outputs command, we got a very long digit, which is this right over here. So I'm going to copy that. We're staying inside the quotations. We're not using anything outside of it. We're going to go back up here at the top. I'm going to paste it in. And then it says digit. Now this digit is going to be right over here. It's a 1 in my case. This could be a 1 or a 0. So you got to know which one you have. Then you're just going to go over this, and I'm just going to put in a 1. So there's 1 space on this side, 1 space on this side, and we have the digit in the center. And next is going to be your IP address. You're going to put in whatever IP address has been assigned to you. I'm just going to put in a generic address. And then we have the owner address. So we're going to go over to our text file, and then we have the owner address right over here. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste it in. Okay, we have the public address, which is next. We have to scroll down over here to the masternode outputs, and we have this public address right over here. We're going to be copying it. It is very long. We're going to copy it, making sure that we don't copy the quotations, just the text inside. Then we're going to go back up here to the top where it says public address, and we're going to paste that in. Then we have the proposal voting address, which is going to be this one right over here. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to paste it. Okay, great. And then there's a space. We have this 0. Make sure this 0 is here. Then there's another space. And then we have the masternode reward. So I'm going to go and copy this masternode reward address back over here, and I'll paste it in. And then masternode fee, I'm going to highlight the masternode fee address. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste it in. Once you have this done, I would save this text file. You might have to refer to it later because there are errors that come up if you don't have it exactly the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to bring it over to my debug console, and I'm going to paste it in and then hit enter. And then we get an output. So this output is actually going to be important. I'm going to be copying this section right over here. I'm going to then paste it out down here below. This is fun. So I'm going to paste it all out over here. And then what we're going to want to do is sign the message. To sign the message, I'm going to be using this template. Again, everything in here is made up. We have the first section, which is going to be collateral address. Okay, so we're going to get the collateral address right down over here. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to be pasting it in over here. We have a quotation at the beginning and a quotation at the end. The next is sign message. Sign message we're going to find down here at the bottom. We're going to be copying everything in the quotation. It's a very long string. So we're just going to copy that. And we'll paste it, and you can see that we only have 1 quotation at the beginning and 1 at the end. So now we can highlight this, we can copy it, and we're ready to paste it into our debug console. Okay, and inside the debug console, I'm going to paste it in, and then I'm going to hit enter. And it's going to output some gibberish code right over here. We're going to highlight this. We're actually going to need this because that is going to be the last part that we need to get our node online. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm just going to paste that in. Step 11 is going to be the protx register submit, and I have this template right over here for the protx register submit. You can see that we need the tx value from the protx register prepare file, which is right over here. So we have the tx, and then we have this long alphanumeric value that we're going to be highlighting. We're staying within the quotations. We're going to copy that. We're going to bring it back over here, and I'm going to highlight this entire section. We're actually going to be removing the quotations this time when we paste it in. So we're going to paste it in here. There's no quotations, but there is a space at the end, and then we need the output from the sign message. Okay, so the output from the sign message, we're going to go over here to the sign message. And this was the output that we had just received. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it in here. There is 1 space in between the first string and the second string that we have over here. Then we're going to highlight this entire section, including the protx register submit. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to jump back over to the debug console. I'm going to go back to my debug console, and I'm going to paste it in, and then I'm going to hit enter. So now we're going to jump over to NodeOrbit and select the BlocX account that we created. When we click on this update link right over here, it's going to take us to an area where we can enter in a key. This is going to be the secret key from step 7 when we entered in the BLS generate command. So you want to go ahead and paste that in here and click on the update button. And that's how you get your node up and running on NodeOrbit. Hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one.